Okay, welcome everybody. So I am in France, so cue the setup. However, I want to make this video for you guys. So I am using a central n8n workflow to deliver most of the services within my actual startup, Kendo AI. So we have an AI startup. We're not just saying this to like sell a membership or something. So anyway, this is going to be probably a 4-part series because n8n goes pretty deep, and this is going to be part 1. So this is going to be the high level. I'm not going to give you guys templates or really like detailed use cases, but it's going to be a very high level of things that you need to know if you're new to this. So, we can start off here. So a lot of you are probably familiar with what Zapier is. Now Zapier is awesome. We still use Zapier. It's a very cool tool, but if you know what that is, it's going to give you a really good idea of the difference between that versus n8n. So basically, automations are self-hosted in your Zapier account the old way, right? And you can connect to different apps or softwares with webhooks or API keys, which basically an API key is just software talking to each other. A webhook is like, if this thing is triggered in this application, then this, like, it's an event created, so you can trigger things, right? And it works great for simple tasks, but it needs a lot of manual oversight and starting triggers. And it's got to be really like defined by a human being. Whereas we get into n8n and we're talking about an agentic workflow. Now, a lot of these AI people are just using buzzwords to sound like fancy. All that means is that it has a brain and it can think independently for itself, essentially. Okay. It's still Zapier. It still connects with every software you can imagine. But now we can add AI, we can add a brain into this, and we can add some really, really, really cool stuff. So, one thing I want to touch on, and we'll make a separate video for this, is MCP. So what is MCP? What is MCP? MCP is Model Context Protocol. Now, why does this matter for you guys? Again, we'll make another video on this, but basically, MCP is the new language and the new base, like, prefixed created model of how softwares interface with each other. Because if everybody had different API keys in a different way and a different structure, then we couldn't really connect into these things. So whenever you see somebody say MCP, and they're talking about this in the context of like LLMs and AI, basically all that means is instead of this being hosted on my computer, I can host this on the web on a fully autonomous server, and I can combine that with an AI agentic workflow. And now I can basically build, think of it like an app or a software, but it's a workflow, it's an automation, and just host it online. And it runs itself. So 24/7, it doesn't have to be triggered by a human being. So I can still connect all my softwares, but now with artificial intelligence, we're removing a lot of the human need, and we can build really complex workflows that are very, very thorough, and they have the power of these LLMs behind them, okay? So now flows have a brain attached. They can be deployed live on the web, and they can run 24/7 without any human oversight. So again, people love complicating these guys when explaining this. So I'm just going to put it in simple words. AI and n8n, which is the software that this whole video is about, we're going to get into in a moment, allows you to build fully autonomous, intelligent workflows, or AI workers, often referred to as agents. That's as complicated as it is, okay? It's basically Zapier on steroids. It's often much cheaper since you're running token costs rather than paying a software like Zapier to provide the hosting and the automation. Because with MCP, with this new AI tools, you can really cut your cost down a lot because you're paying for token usage, which in the context of if you're thinking of like OpenAI, ChatGPT, I don't know the exact cost, but it's very, very cheap. Like for example, to run a word like base message, not voice, but just word, costs like something like 0.01 cents or something, right? So it's very, very cheap. So now let's get into n8n. So this is what is the difference between Zapier and n8n. Now, what is n8n? n8n is a phenomenal software that I am very impressed by. It's very cool. This is n8n. So it's basically Zapier for AI automation. Now, the limits of what you can do with this are pretty crazy. You can build some really cool stuff. And we'll get in, again, this is a multi-part video. I'm going to give you guys templates. I'm going to give you really cool stuff. But this allows us to really at the cutting edge of the capability of the tech that we have in online business or whatever you're using this for. We can really automate large parts of our business. And not just automate it with like Zapier, but intelligently. And so let's break that down. What does that mean? So I have this beautiful giant mirror board for you guys here. So this is what it would look like in the past. to have a just basic automation. So I have the automation. If X happens, Zapier does this. So example of this would be if this Slack channel gets messaged in, Zapier sends them this. Now that's cool. And n8n will still do that. But then we can get into some more complex things. So standard automation would be like, oh, type form trigger is submitted. So I put a form out, it's triggered. If they answer X, if they answer Y, then do this, right? And the logic, you can put the logic into the type form, and then you have an action here. This would be Zapier, which would then be synced with type form based on that action, right? But with agentic workflows, now this is an example of something we're actually using, which is YouTube video is sent to Slack channel. So this is not autonomous in the sense of it has to be triggered still. It could be autonomous, but we choose to trigger because we want to select the YouTube video. But you send a video into a specific Slack channel. It extracts the video ID. It transcribes that video with ChatGPT. It sends that transcription to a pre-made ChatGPT or other LLM project like Claude, Gemini, whatever you want to do. And then this is where the AI brain part of this comes in and why n8n and agentic flows are so cool is now because I can go create a Claude project like we showed you guys in another video, right? In our last video, we have these projects. So right, we have the VSL project. So imagine just for the sake of this example, I'm sending a YouTube video. It's extracting the ID. It's transcribing that video. And then that transcription, which is just the text, gets sent to my project that I've already created. And I can just set rules here. I could say like, hey, I want you to write 50 long form or short form emails and copy from this transcription. That's all done automatically. Okay. So in the past, you could not do this. And this is where we get really crazy. And then again, here's the options. We could use this preset project to write emails based on the transcription, write short form posts, create hooks based off video topics inside that video, right? Like the possibilities are really endless, but that's an example of this is basic. Oh, oops. This is basic. This could be done with Zapier, like the traditional way, but this and these green boxes, this is where we get into what's called this agentic kind of stuff with AI. It's very, very cool. It's really a game changer. And so let's go a little bit deeper. So how could we 100% run this, right? Like the point of AI is automation. It's removing human workflow from this and letting us focus on high level things. Well, we've got the same exact thing that I just showed you guys, this same example, right? The transcription, the ID, but now we could send all of these things to a scheduling tool, right? This could be Hype Fury. It could be, there's a million of these. Send these to a scheduling tool, then schedule it on a time basis, then organize it however we want to organize it. Maybe send it to another Slack channel for my copy team or my short form team or this team. Send those off, organize them, put them in a drive. And then maybe we have another big org chart here of whatever goes into that drive is then used for this. So basically what I'm trying to get at, guys, is I'm giving you one example in this basic video, but we can take a YouTube video link, any YouTube video. I can send it to a Slack channel and then I can literally do whatever I want with that video. I can transcribe it. I can use that to send to a project to create other projects. I can use those other projects to create other projects. I can send those projects to my team to create more stuff. I can organize it. Like it literally is endless and it becomes overwhelming. So one hack I want to leave you guys with before we end this video. Here we go. n8n runs on templates, which is freaking awesome. So in the next video, I'm going to show you guys a lot of JSON stuff. So basically JSON is like code language for prompting. But within n8n, there's a lot of really cool templates already. And so I recommend you guys go through and watch these. Now, something that we're doing and what we figured out is like these templates are good, but we've actually hired a bunch of just n8n experts. So like I have a really good team now. We're building out really cool stuff with a lot of like AI education stuff coming. So this is a great place to start. But when you want to build some really cool shit, you got to have somebody that knows their stuff. And even myself right now, like guys, I'm pretty versed in this and I get overwhelmed sometimes. So we'll give you some deeper stuff in the next video, but I hope you guys like this. I hope this makes sense. n8n is a game changer. This is one of the most useful tools I've seen come from AI because it is the tool that connects all the AI and lets all the other AI talk to each other. So in the next video, I'm going to give you guys an example. I'm making ads right now without my face, all done by AI. we're running the biggest workflow of delivery for Kendo of custom stuff we build for enterprise clients, all done with an n8n flow. It's like this long. The YouTube transcription, short form content, emails, copy, writing, ideation, ad research, deep research, like all of this done automatically with n8n. So please guys, like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you want to see in the next video. This is part 1 of the n8n series. So thank you guys so much for your support. And I hope you enjoy this video. So we'll go ahead and wrap that one up, and I'll see you guys on the next one.